I'm saucing on you. I'm swagging, oh. I'm ballin', I have a song on you.
Okay. Hello everybody, this is Gary. I was coming on here, we'll probably put it in one of the Vlogtobers, but it's about weather warfare. My grandfather, when he was in World War II, he entered in 1941, 1945 he came out. Ever since 1945, he talked about how the U.S. had some kind of machine that would control the weather. They're trying to make disadvantages for the Germans, and they would use it to cause fog banks that they could sneak up on them and different things like that. And I didn't really believe him or anything. Never heard of any such thing. But we were looking through. Marquita was doing superstition and wives' tales and stuff, and I came across an article that talked about weather warfare and how we really did have that technology. Because in 1997, in Geneva, 41 countries came together and virtually outlawed the use of weather in warfare. That could be as simple as where they would fly over, seed the clouds to make it rain hard, torrential rains, or they had different things. That's all they talk about basically is the seeding of the clouds. But they're talking about the seeding of the clouds in 1967, 1968, which was in Vietnam. They're not talking about it before World War II. But because I read that, it's saying it's in Vietnam, and the way my grandfather has talked about it since 1945 leads me to believe that they've had this technology a lot longer than they're saying they have.
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary to think that there is something out there, even if it's not being used now, that can be used to control the weather. And then you stop and you look back at all the different weather patterns that we're having right now that are going on that are strange.
And maybe
hurricanes
that's why
hitting where they haven't hit in years and years and years.
And maybe that's why
earthquakes, volcanoes, all this. Maybe somebody is controlling the weather again.
And maybe that's why Trump said that there's no such thing as climate change.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's stupid, but
like he was saying there, if you couldn't hear her, what she said was, and maybe that's why Trump is sitting there saying there is no such thing as climate change
or global
warming or anything like that.
Because he knows the machine.
Because he knows of the machine. And that brings up another thing. Some of these fires that are coming out just out of nowhere. Nobody's seen any lightning strikes, nothing like that. All of a sudden they've got wildfires out of control.
Yeah, and glowing.
Saying it was caused by lightning, but there was never any storms.
Yeah, and glowing up under the roots of trees.
Yeah, and it burning from up under the trees, from the roots up. Lightning doesn't do that. But I think, obviously my grandfather wasn't just making stories. And that's kind of scary to know that technology's out there.
Yeah, he said this when he was in his sound mind.
Yeah, he said that's when he was in his sound mind. He developed dementia really bad, but he didn't live long after he developed it. And he started talking about it in 1945. Him and one of his war buddies got together in, I think it was 1987, and they talked about it on there too. They both talked about the weather machine. And so there is something out there. The government knows about it. They know how to use it. And I think maybe they're using it now.
Yeah. And that's why Trump is so adamant about climate change being fake and all that. But I take his rant with a grain of salt. Because I just take it with a grain of salt. I'll keep us non-political. But
yeah, I don't know who. I can't say it is out and being used now. It just, some of the weather patterns that we're having right now don't add up. And the volcano erupting so abruptly, when there was no previous signs of it.
Well, they said
they say there were, but there wasn't, because
Okay.
people in Hawaii didn't talk about it. Anything different that would have caused that. And it caught them off guard. So if it was due to erupt,
That's like Old
I think the
Faithful.
people would know.
And like Old Faithful.
Yeah, and Old Faithful is no longer faithful. It's sporadic now. And one of the geysers that hadn't erupted in years and years and years is starting to erupt again. And it's just, there's too many things going on. And it's scary to think that our government, some government, is out there and they have control of our weather and can make it do whatever they want to. They can cause tidal waves, they can cause hurricanes, they can cause volcanoes, earthquakes, whatever. And there's no way to defend yourself against that.
Yeah. But hopefully.
But that was the only thing, the only reason I came on there is because we came across that with the weather warfare, and it kind of backs up everything my grandfather talked about. Everybody said, no, they didn't have that technology way back then. They didn't have that back then. Well, how did he know about it? If they didn't have it back then, how did he know about it to talk about it? And it's exactly what they described in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So it just.
And he wasn't in Vietnam.
Yeah, he was in World War II. He never fought in Vietnam. He didn't fight in Korea.
So,
So there's something to it.
Yeah.
And why they covered it up for that many years is unknown too.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought. Why would they be covering it up?
Yeah. Well, hopefully y'all like this video. It's food for thought.
Yep. Y'all have a good day. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye.